welcome to another episode of the Grindhouse Podcast. This is episode 38. I got some homies with me. I got the crew, Space Cadets. How's it going, guys?
Yes, sir.
What up?
Just a couple of them.
Just a few. They roll kind of deep.
They do.
Real quick, if you like, comment, subscribe if you dig the podcast. I got my homie Crit on the other side, of course, as always.
Yep.
But yeah, we have the Space Cadets. How you guys doing?
Hey,
We're
doing
good,
great,
man.
Blessed.
So,
Beautiful night. Brilliant.
Let's go around and actually introduce you guys so people know who you are before we kind of get into this interview.
Word. I'll just start it off.
Yeah, you get on. Did you guys start it off?
I'm Elliot. I produce, aka Groovy, play drums for the band. Yep.
All-star manager.
That as well.
Big dog.
Nice.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm Yaski. I'm a vocalist.
Rapper.
I'm a rapper slash vocalist.
Word.
I'm Mike Brightly, guitar, keys, producer.
Big dog alert. Musical director.
Malachi Elijah, rapper, vocalist, and
For the Space Cadets.
Lord Keo, songwriter, lyricist.
Big dog. And we're missing Rico. down in DC.
Shout out to Rico. Is Rico in Maryland right now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
he's in DC.
Oh,
Not
he's in
from
DC right now? Word,
Yep.
word.
He won't.
Shout out to Rico. Yo, guys, thank you so much for getting the crew all together for this interview. I mean, we wanted to have you guys on for a while. I think you guys were one of the first people that we wanted to get on, and it didn't happen. And then the whole fucking Corona thing happened right
Pandemic
after
shit.
we kind of hung out. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know what, bro? I feel like I came down with the corona right as you guys were leaving, like that weekend that y'all left. Like I came down with it. Good now though. I'm great now, but yeah, that March time was a bit weird.
Damn. All right.
Let's do this podcast.
Let's get into it.
You guys are probably like the last. I think you guys are probably the last people Crit and I really hung out with that we don't already like regularly see.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it was the weekend after that was when everything kind of went crazy. Like my job shut down. Like I've been inside for fucking 6 months now. I haven't seen another human being. So you guys were like the last humans I've really interacted with.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Same.
There, I'm home.
But yeah, let's get into who you guys are, and I just kind of want to start. I'm going to start with the beginning. We can kind of build it out and really kind of talk about what you guys are doing now. Def got to get into the video. Love the video. That video came out fucking dope. Obviously, the song's crazy.
Good job, guys. Good job to you guys. Yeah.
Word, yeah, no, for sure. We were definitely happy to be a part of it. And shout out to Jake Mitchell also for shooting that video. That video came out beautiful.
Shout out.
But let's start from the beginning, man. How the fuck did all you guys, join forces and create this wonderful group?
Shit, man. Well, this Space Cadets definitely started in high school. Keo.
It started with Chico,
Yeah.
myself, and then now went up to Emerson.
Yeah, I went to
Yaski,
school in Boston.
And then later on met Groovy, and then we met Groovy, and then we met Spike and Jeremy, and all came together. We had 2 groups initially, but we feel we
Mal and Keo, like before the whole band thing happened, you guys were just rapping, right? You guys were just rappers, right?
Yeah, rapping, and I was doing like a lot of musical theater. I love like theater and whatnot, so I was doing kind of that on a performative side. But yeah, rapping and just laying down beats and shit like that. Yeah.
When the band started really coming together, how was there adjustment in terms of like playing with like live instruments and like just like instead of just going off a beat that's pre-recorded, kind of trying to go with the whole band?
Definitely, man. We were always trying to do like some more live stuff. So like Kia was saying, we kind of had 2 bands running concurrently. Like I was Spike and Jeremy. We grew up together, so we were in a band that had been existing. Space Cadets were already a band from them growing up together. You know what I'm saying? But we got together. We're just like, I've always been a believer in putting the most talented people together gives you the best possible chance of success.
Word.
So really, it really is our version of a super group of friends. But the blessing is just that we all get along so well, so it's not like a force, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely an adjustment to doing it live. But it's so much more free, man. There's so much more life you can get out of it. You aren't boxed into like a grid like you are.
And
had a good run of laying down just like verses over beats and shit.
Definitely.
Like, definitely through a lot of open mics and just playing. All of our first shows and at like the Middle East and through Boston were pretty much just like raps over beats and then able to make it more dynamic. I think definitely by our headline show, that's when we really, I think, joined forces for the first time and played with like a live band as well. So that was really fun too. Nice.
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the best things about you guys is the live. I mean, for the people who are watching who are not familiar, you know, we're out of Lynn, and so you know, our viewership is mostly like Lynn, Boston people. But like, yo, if you guys haven't seen Space Cadets, I know it's fucking the Corona, so I don't know when's the next time we're gonna see a live performance. But that sucks because you guys are literally like I remember watching you guys. I've seen you guys play a few times, but I remember watching the first performance and I didn't know what to expect. I just knew I wanted to come out and support, and I was fucking blown away by how well you guys did. And I was like, yo, this is like just compared to any act, like any like popular act, whatever, the energy you guys brought was like up to that level. And so that was really cool. So, I mean, I don't know when you guys will get back out. Did you guys have any idea when you'll get back out to doing live performances?
Hopefully, like maybe end of fall, but you know, gotta always kind of monitor it.
And that's just like post up in the park, do a show, socially distanced, safe show. But hitting a stage at a venue, not till probably summer 21. You know what I mean? That's not.
Yeah.
It sucks. You know what I mean?
That sucks.
And in the meantime, we're definitely going to be doing some live sessions. We already did one for What's Missing. We're going to do a whole group of them, and we're going to keep the content coming. You know what I mean? We're just looking at this time as an opportunity to develop other parts rather than live, which has always been our focus.
Yeah. Like so the virtual events, what is that compared to like obviously live stuff? Like obviously you're missing audience. Are there like anything that you like about the virtual stuff?
I feel like there's still the same type of, we still try and bring the same type of energy, I think.
Yeah.
With a virtual performance as well as with a live performance. I mean, Spike, you can speak on some of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like, you know, we kind of agree that in general it's just good to have like some idea that like, all right, well, people are going to see this and like, so you do play a different way. And I think that's just good to like, you know, get that practice and like keep that mindset. But of course, I mean, you know, I think you guys do a great job of doing it, but I imagine, you know, the energy just, you know, it's great to have like people around you kind of respond to that.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know,
definitely just.
you miss the most, honestly.
Yeah, you get to like feed off the audience and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
It's always a highlight for sure.
I want to bring this up because I think I have an idea of what your favorite shows are, like that you guys have done. But I want to like talk to me about like the best show you've ever done and what was that like?
I think, I mean, Todd, you want to, what's your favorite show that we've done, brother?
I don't know, bro. That's some great ones.
Yeah.
All because we've been doing a lot of so far shows here, so there's been like such a wide, you know, the whole point is like the venue, the people, it's all like a shuffle. So, you know, we've been putting we played at like a sports store, so like a Brooklyn bougie loft, you know. But I don't know, probably the one that sticks out in my mind is probably like we opened up for Ali Sharia.
Yeah.
And that was amazing, man. Like that was great.
Yeah.
You know, just like icon to set the tone for that band to go on.
We all got to meet him too, which was like incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
So you know, such a humble guy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Jay Electronica was super fun. I feel like the whole night in its entirety was like seeing Jay Electronica and just like the crazy magnetism of like him as a performer is definitely really inspirational and like, you know, but I feel personally like our headline show still is probably just like my favorite. I think that we've done just because of all the like time and work that we put into it and making it into like, you know, a whole night of like friends and family were able to come and, giving opportunity to other artists and also design, like clothing vendors and things like that, kind of trying to test the waters and setting up something like that. So I think we executed that pretty well, and that was a really fun night.
Yeah, I think there's different things that you like about different shows. Some shows I liked that they were more eclectic and they included other artists, they included merch, all that type of stuff. But then there are also just like moments where sometimes I am so wrapped up in the performance, the preparation. Some shows you kind of experience more than others. Like some you are so in the moment of your Ty put it to me one time. I was talking about that headline gig we had, and it was mad preparation, mad ticket sales. And this is back in Boston a couple of years ago. And we were blessed to sell it out. Everything was happy about it. But I remember talking to him after. It was like, I didn't really experience that. It happened so much, so quick, and it was so much prep, and then it was just over. So like for me, that wasn't really my most favorite gig for just to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite gigs I think one time is we played Hempfest up in Boston. And it was just, I was in a good mood. I had a full stomach. It was hot as hell. We went up there. The music was dumping. The speakers were really loud. And you know what I mean? I just had a good time. I felt free. So that was like one of my favorites. I think it's like trying to disconnect from the prep can be kind of hard sometimes.
I left a big ship.
With there being so many of you in the band, how do you come up with a set list for an event?
I mean, a lot of times beforehand, before I think we moved to New York and I think became a bit more organized. A lot of it was like, day before, like kind of like having an idea of what we want to do, and then really like the day before, or like even like before the show, whether a show has more like stakes or not, we would like come up with a set list by then. I mean, I think we put a lot of thought and preparation into our set list, so it's never like we just throw like songs together. I think even when we have been in that position, we've always kind of tried to cater it to like the audience or to like what we feel like the vibe will be. So I don't know.
I mean, definitely early on, like the beat days when we were not as a full group, we would like put stuff together and be like, okay, here. But now that we have a full ensemble and the ability to literally feed off each other, it works so much better than it was before. Yeah. I'm just happy that we're all in place.
And it used to be a lot of like, okay, like can we replicate this beat or whatever, which is kind of a cool thing to do, and it's like, interesting musically. But now I think, the set list is a lot more like what's like an organic track that we kind of all worked out in like that live setting.
Do you guys how do you guys like go ahead and make like how do you guys arrange your music and your instruments? Is that like, Elliot, do you start that and sort of like go out to the band, or how do you guys go about making the instruments?
It really depends, man. Like Mike said, sometimes like one of us will make a beat, whether it's Yaski or Mike or myself or Jeremy, and we'll kind of reinterpret that beat to the live setting. So it'll change a little bit on its way to becoming the actual what we play live. So that's cool because you kind of get everybody's touch on it. And then, but I mean, really my favorite is we just, pop in the room, just jamming for fun. And that's when you come up with the coolest ideas. That's when you come up with songs. Like we did that joint Fruits for the So Far video. And that was something that just came about from like combining some melody that Mike started. We turned it into a jam. Mal had written lyrics to another beat, and it ended up just kind of meshing together. So we kind of just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Word. You guys are good at that.
Yeah. Our music is just like throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah. It's very, very collaborative nonetheless. I think we all, especially now, we're very fortunate with, all these guys live together. I'm practically here every day, just down the street. So, we are very fortunate now where, we can be in our separate rooms and working on a beat or working on a track. Elliot's, is tracking drums in his room, or Mike is practicing guitar in his. Yaski's working on a beat. Keo's writing. you know, and or you know, I just have the ability to, you know, pop in either room. We all have the ability to kind of just pop into each other's rooms and just bounce ideas off of each other, very fluidly. Oh, is that a word? Fluidly? Okay.
That's a word.
So yeah. So it's definitely super organic. But I think it's always been very organic. Even like, you know, when we first started, we you know, we were Rico and I were always at Keo's house, or Keo was at Rico's house, and we were always like together. I think just being able to, you know, be collaborative, and then, you know, even at Emerson, I mean, Tyler and I lived our freshman year like one floor from each other, and then our sophomore year we were suite mates, so we were always able to just like, you know what I mean, just bounce ideas off each other, even to the point, and this is gonna be long-winded of course, but even to the point then where we lived in Jamaica Plain, and Elliot lived right around the corner from us, and we were just able to go to like walk to his house, and just like, you know, when we had an idea or something, you know, was sparked in us, we could just, you know, be collaborative and lay it down. So I feel like it's always just been building up to now where, you know, we're in a close proximity with each other, and you know, we're just able to continue that process.
Cool.
So I have a question from Malachi. So you can sing and rap. So how did that start?
Gosh, well, I think singing was definitely the first thing that came about to me. I mean, I was always very fortunate to just have supportive parents that, you know, wanted me to do what my passions were, and as they would hear me sing more and more, I think they pushed me to, you know, to do theater and to do other, you know, performative aspects of in the arts, so like theater and acting and musical theater. So for me, it kind of started with that. I mean, being in chorus, and, you know, even though I was kind of like, you know, a class clown back in the day and kind of, you know, goofing off, whatever, during a lot of those singing classes or chorus classes, I don't know, I feel like, you know, it all kind of built steadily on top of each other. And then I think rapping, I don't know, rapping was just like, came, I guess, kind of naturally. But then, you know, I met Keo and Rico, and they really pushed me to have more confidence in I think everything in general, but definitely with like my singing. And then the rapping ability, I don't know, I was just very fortunate. I mean, I've uncles as well that were MCs and who were rap artists too. So being able to kind of, I think, get that from them, you know, and seeing that kind of that is possible, you know, that someone can actually do that just for whether it's a passion or for fun. So yeah, for me, it was a whole load of things, but I think I was just always very fortunate to have people that are supportive of me, and, you know, wanted to see me do my best, and that helped me to gain a lot of self-confidence to the point now where I love to sing and rap and do it with these guys and have a lot of fun with it. So yeah.
This is for all the vocalists. So you know, you, Mal, Keo, and Yaski. I'm curious. I mean, like, Mal, I feel like you're like you have like a poetic heart, and I feel like that like always cuts through any song, and it's very it's very enjoyable. And I feel like the dynamic between you, Keo, and Yaski is you guys each bring your own little thing. So can you guys talk a little bit about, like, you know, when you guys are working with each other and creating a song, what is it that you each offer on the track?
That's a great question.
But easier for you guys to answer for like each other.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like Tyler. No, in all seriousness, if I may, I feel like Tyler brings so much, just such flavor, so many punchy bars. He's great at writing, I think, choruses that have a lot of wordplay to them. You know, I feel like you, for the most part, carry the weight for the vocals of, like, I don't know, just like that kind of bar for bar type of rap where it may, you know, you hear a bar and it really hits you and you have to think twice about it. I feel like Keo, I don't want to speak on both of you guys, but like, well, I feel like I feel like Keo is always brought like such a bounce and such a I don't want to just I'm not gonna just pigeonhole in terms of like the trap, but I feel like just such a bounce of flavor that he just finds pockets in beats and instrumentation where it's just so full and thick and I don't know, it just like has so much like oomph to it. And for myself, I guess I don't know. I like to always work in tandem with the two of these guys, and I think whether that's for me personally, I feel like my style has morphed into a lot of like descriptive kind of writing, maybe poetry. I mean, if you classify as that, I don't know if I would, but just I like painting pictures and being abstract in my verses and my singing as well. So I feel like the three of us, we just work very much in sync with bringing each of those qualities to a song, but then also pushing each other to reach where that other person may be. You know what I mean? Like I've always found that when I was working with Tyler, that I wanted to. There are certain times where I really wanted to emulate, his skill and what he does, because he just has such cool, like
that smooth shit going for him, right?
Right.
That super smoothness.
Yeah,
just has such a different style that when it comes together, it's flawless. It's seamless. With Yaski and his smoothness, with Mal and his poetic creativity, my kind of sometimes hard edginess, it all comes together and it blends perfectly with Spike on the guitar, with Jeremy in vocals and guitar as well, and he mixing it all together with the drums and literally everything that comes together with this is seamless and flawless. Yes, sometimes we do have hiccups and we do have times of being frustrated, but it is what it is, and family. But it's you can't compare it to anything. It's tough.
I think about the your track, Keo, Bruce Lee, and I think about like that juxtaposed next to Malachi's like a track like Layaway, and just the differences in how you guys sound, because it's so different that you might like if nobody knew who like Space Cadets were, they might think you guys are two completely different people that may have not like done a song together, and then you guys hop on a track together and you blend both of that magic. So I really love the when you guys go your own separate ways, what you can what you do with your sound, but when you guys come together, how you kind of like collaborate off each other and bounce that off each other. It's really dope.
I'm curious as to like what Ian and Spike may say about just the instrumentation, because I know that's though it we do blend into each other. I feel like that's equally has its own just weight, and they carry such a standard for them. So
for sure. I mean, I think that's what I love about hip hop so much. I love every genre. I think we all kind of really love every genre of music, but I think hip hop has just always been an amalgamation of different flavors and styles. So it doesn't seem weird in any way to follow up a track like Layaway with Bruce Lee to a hip hop fans. You know what I'm saying? Like you like trap stuff, you like alternative hip hop, you like chill hop, you like all that different type of stuff. So I think like that's what I love so much about this genre and this group. Like we kind of can do what we want to do with it, and I think that's where we're at right now. It's just like testing different styles. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what works, seeing what people like, and just speaking quickly to the vocalist, and then I'll pass it off to Spike. I think I always think about things. Obviously, stylistically, they're going to collaborate on like what's the theme of the song, where we going lyrically, what we're trying to say in the message. But I also think about it just like the voice is an instrument. You know what I'm saying? So when you hit Mal's bars versus Keo's bars versus Yaski bars, it's a much different sort of percussive cadence, right? Keo has quick short notes and Mal has them longer drag notes. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it's all music, like we break it down to that.
Yeah, and also every vocalist just has a distinct like vocal range and like tone of voice, which I think is one of those things that is like obvious, but like it really makes an impact on a track if you're gonna have 3 verses to have that like change up in how that sounds. Yeah, but I think that's what's like really fun about it too. Is it's like, yeah, hip hop can encompass anything. So it's like on one track, maybe I'm, laying down some like piano sound and some, jazzy guitar stuff, and the next one's like all synth stuff or some, you can play like a bunch of different styles and do whatever. So like as a musician, it's a lot of fun because it's like you get to kind of explore a range of like stuff that you wouldn't in any other kind of group. I mean, that has to kind of be bound a little bit more to that, like at least musical style. So.
Word.
So I have a question for all of you. You guys have such like a unique sound. So what influences you guys like musically? That's what I want to know, because I feel like there's so many different sounds and like
shit, man.
Like
yeah, it's a whole lot.
Everyone's just bringing something different to the table. Like
it's a whole lot, man. And I think it would almost be impossible to list them. You know what I mean? If you ask me a more pointed question, who's your top 5? We'll sit here and debate that. Yeah. But in terms of influence, like because the beauty of music is that it's just like an endless sea. You know what I mean? Like I will never discover all the music that there is to
For
hear.
sure.
So every time you hear something new, you kind of gain new inspiration. Or if I hear something I really like it, I'll be like, how can I make something like this? And I can't make something exactly like it. So on my way to trying to make it like that, I end up making it like our shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of where I don't know, you obviously get artists who you love, like they could be through your like family members. Like my mom was always playing like Mary J. Blige in the house. Like that's now to this day she's my favorite artist. But honestly, like hip hop has been through sampling. The fact that it can be just like, oh, if this is an amazing sounding piece of music, that could be a film score, it could be, a folk song. It could really be anything. So like to be in that lens, I guess, of like something that's really listening for something that is a sound that can be expanded upon and taken into my own artistry. That's, I guess, a general way to answer your question. But like that's kind of the line that I follow in music. Whatever sounds that take me to that place, I guess.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
Is there ever like a point where it just feels like there's too many cooks in the kitchen?
I don't know.
Not really. Honestly, because we're so diverse and we're so versatile that we have our own pockets that nobody's necessarily stepping on. Like we all have critiques and we all want to make shit as best as it can be, but I don't think that's the case at all. Like there's this we have our own styles and we come together. There's really no issues.
And it's trust, man. It's like if we're we're about to mix the song and somebody says, hey, I want to redo my whole verse and change the whole thing. Cool. Like there's no, you know what I mean? There's no hesitation in that. You might redo the entire beat. You might do, you know what I mean? And you might have got really attached to the old version, but you just trust that the next one's going to be better. You know what I mean? And it always is. So
love, trust.
What's missing? I don't know if y'all noticed this, but when we shot that video, we shot it to a totally different beat.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the song is so different now, in such a better way, and I feel like the smoothness of that song, coupled with sort of the grittiness of the video, it's such a dope contradiction.
So the video is like super nostalgic feeling. Was that what you were going for? What was who thought of the concept
of the What's Missing video?
Yeah.
Shit, Jake Mitchell.
Yeah.
Man.
His old that was all him with the the VHS cameras, because that was fun, like watching you guys like bring the little VHS cameras with you guys, and we had all the like
that's something
photographers and whatnot.
We love I think we've all just loved like that type of film grain, and whether it's with photography or with actual movie or film or whatever. I think definitely the film camera was just another aspect I think we wanted to showcase. But I think Jake, he had it in a post recently where he really just wanted to experiment with different mediums through the screen, and I think that came a lot with came out with a lot of like the picture, like the 3D pictures, the VHS, the I did some some of those like scribbles and drawings that got put into post, and so just it was really off of his say so, just trying to experiment with a lot of different different mediums. I think how the song though then paired with the video is that I know that we originally, as we had written the song, been thinking about how we may want to represent it. I think we had a feeling that we'd want it to represent maybe broadly our time here in the city in a way, or at least just like how all of us have been able to come here and move here together and work together here now. I think that really is what we just wanted to be represented, and then Jake I think took that and really ran with it, and being able to to mix that in with a lot of the different effects and elements for the video. So
yeah, man. If we just take a sec to praise Jake, man. We worked with Jake on a bunch of other projects.
Yeah, and you
guys, and he was on the layaway video, all this stuff that it's like that friendship goes deep too, and it's the same type of trust. Where like I know Jake's gonna do his thing, it's gonna come out great. Whatever he wants to do, that's awesome, man. Having a group of 7 dudes, like you said, we roll deep, so it's good to have someone that can manage and direct everybody when you're out in the crowd like that, but not be like bossy. I think we worked with other videographers before who it hasn't been as just a really symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. It's definitely from what I've seen being a part of your shoot, very organic the way Jake like conducts. That's why I love Jake. I've obviously worked with him with your shoots, but also with other thing, and that's his kind of his his bread and butter is just keeping things super organic and just at a level of comfort that everybody can sort of be their best selves, and I think that's what I love about working
and dedicated too, bro. I mean, just to toot your horn a little bit. When we see you holding the steady cam and you got the sweat dripping down the forehead, the joints getting heavy, but you know what I mean. But you want to get that second take or that third take. That speaks to, I think, your dedication as well of just making the best quality content.
You got the steady face.
I'm sure you guys are in a band, so I'm sure you get like the guitar face and the whatever. I definitely got steady face.
It's almost like it's playing an instrument essentially.
I forgot who took a video of me while I was doing like the steady work for Keo's shot, and it's just like my face looks like all like conjoined. I was like, oh
man. You're locked in though.
So in terms of you guys are in New York now, and I think you guys been in New York. I think when you guys moved sometime last year. Yeah. You're originally from Maryland, DC area. You come up to Boston for like college and so forth. You meet a few more people there, and then you move out to New York. So I'm curious, like, obviously, you move out to New York for more opportunities. But what's been the thing that New York offers that really you can't get, in the places that you were before?
Just people and exposure and places to play and culture. People who just like there's places to play and
people are doing shit. Everybody, you meet all types of really cool people. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing something, whether it's fashion or music or some type of art. There's so many artists out here, and it just feels like a really supportive culture. And yeah, man, we lament that we're not out there mixing it up on the live scene because that's really the melting pot of meeting all these great artists. But can't wait to get back to that.
I think we've also all been able to take a lot of influence from where we're from. I think especially being from the DMV, I know Keo and I have a lot of just influence and flavor from that. I think, Tyler's from New York and Spike and E are, being from Connecticut. I feel like, we all took influences of each place that we've been. I think from Boston, from Boston, we had a great community there, and we really were able to flourish and I think, make those very formative years. And then being, we had there's so many things that were stimulating about Boston that, helped us with our artistry. And then coming to New York, I think it's just the same thing, just building upon experiences and and interactions with people, whether that's through live shows, whether that's just through collaborations. And I think, you know, New York just provides that as well, just maybe in like a bigger scale, but I think it just provides, you know, that type of stimulus for all of us. And I think that's what we're all looking for, you know, outside of just being in this apartment. I think we all have kind of begun to track our own ways of life in New York and in Brooklyn, you know, where we are now. So, you know, I think that, yeah, that's definitely been a plus and a positive, that, you know, just being able to get a lot of influence, and, you know, whether it's riding the train or going to a park or you know, meeting new people, it all kind of has, I think, blended very organically for all of us. But yeah, in that way. Yeah.
So I have a question for Elliot and Spike. So what is like your mainstay for when it comes to like instruments?
Yeah, definitely drums for me. I mean, everything I play is kind of a variation of a drum, whether it's like a sampling pad or a percussion pad. Yeah. Everything I play is like a variation of drum, but nothing is as sweet as just sitting on the kit, because you can be so expressive from there. Spike is the real multi-instrumentalist. Jeremy as well.
But yeah, I mean, you know, for me, it's definitely guitar. You know, that's just where I always feel most comfortable, and for me, that's what's the most fun. It's like that's when I can't play all I can play. But I love keys a lot, and that's something that I've been doing a lot more since I've been here, and since that's become a more important part of what we do, and just being able to like expand, you know, the sounds, but also just to have a different tool to like come up with new stuff, because you're not going to write the same type of stuff that you would on, you know, guitars, on keys. So, you know.
And trust me, we haven't really unleashed the beast with Spike yet. Like Spike, we will later down the line after we get a few.
Kind of holding them back a little bit.
They're like 6-minute guitars. So
yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming for sure.
For the vocalists, I'm curious, man, because, you know, hip hop is, you know, considered a very competitive, you know, it's especially if you're like, for a lot of solo artists, but when you're doing a song with somebody else, you know, typically you kind of want to like one up the other person on a track. Is there any sort of competition when it comes to like, you know, you, Keo, yes, in terms of like, you know, oh shit, like he wrote that, I gotta go back and rewrite it.
Go back and rewrite.
I know that I'm coming correct. I know they're coming correct. But it's never been competition. I never look at them like, oh, I gotta one up them. It's never like that for me. So they can speak for themselves, but
yes.
But I say, like, hip hop in general is just such a competitive kind of like prove yourself if you can get on the mic type of, you know, art form. You know, like, what is your top 5? Like, that's the most heated battle. Like, who's nice, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I channel that because that's what that's how I entered into hip hop. And it'll still kick in, you know, like, I feel something like I gotta bring, you know, I gotta have the best verse on this. But, like, it's geared towards the intention of, like, let's make this the best song.
Yeah.
You know, it's not in the, I'm trying to make this dude look bad. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, channeling towards that, that's just a natural feeling in my heart that I can't.
Fully agree. Couldn't agree with you more on that. I think personally, it's funny because, you know, I've definitely had like Keo and I have definitely talked about that beforehand, and, you know, just not. I mean, yeah. You heard his answer. Like, he feels like he's not making a competition. I think I fall in line with both of these guys in a way of like I never see myself necessarily in competition with these two, but I do feel motivated every time we're on a song. I think especially with Tyler too. Especially with Tyler, I think every time that we're all on a song, I do feel that sense of like, okay, I've heard Ty's verse, I've heard Keo's verse, right? And we talked about like their different styles. For me, it's like in my own style, how can I match with them and bring in my own lane something that is better than what I've written in the past or written before. You know what I mean? So I would agree with both. Like, it's never necessarily a competition of wanting to make anyone look bad or wanting to, you know, I guess one up someone in a sense of like, in that, I guess, more literal sense. But I do think that there is some, validity to the fact of like, you have 3-4 MCs at certain points in time that, you know, just all want to do their best, not only for ourselves, but I think for each other as well. And with that can, you know, come that feeling of, okay, like, I heard him spit his verse, or I heard something that he said, all right, bet, let me try and bring some of that in my own way as well. Yeah, you know,
Word.
Yeah. It's very healthy though, for sure. It's like,
friendly competition is never bad. I think it just elevates everyone.
Fact. Yeah, it's not on some like Jordan type shit where, you know, it's like, you know, like trying to like try to
be the one man band kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of that. But
yeah. So what are you guys like working on currently? Are you working on like a full length album or an EP? What are you guys working on? We're trying to get the scoop.
Yeah, man, we're in single. Like I said, testing some different styles, testing some different influences, and just seeing what people respond to. We'll have another single out next month,
cool.
And then hoping to get, you know, basically one group, one a month for the rest of the year, and we'll also be having some spin-off solo singles and all that type of stuff. So that's the beauty. We have so many different styles to try out. So we're definitely sticking with singles for a while, and then hopefully next year we can put a little budget and time into creating like a really incredible full-length album.
Word. I've been waiting for that, man. I've been waiting for that for a long time, man.
It's a long time coming. One thing with us, man, you know, we waited this long to even get a first single out. So we just keep, you know, you feel like you get better all the time. So we just want to keep hacking away at that and come with a concept that really sets us apart. You know what I mean?
I think also in that way, like we definitely we definitely will send each other like albums or songs or just notes that in our rehearsing or when we're practicing and things like that, that we are like, oh, like this, you know, this would be something great for down the line, or like this, you know what I mean? Like this, I think we've all, in being in single mode, I think we've all also been able to find little just strings of influence that I think we'll want to continue for when we are ready to, you know, begin working on a bigger length project. But yeah, for right now, I think we're all very much on the same page of just wanting to put out quality content and singles, a lot of, you know, interaction with fans or with, you know, different people that have begun to follow our music, and then, providing, you know, video content as well, to just kind of, you know, continue our momentum.
Word.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to What's Missing, which is like the newest single out. Definitely check out What's Missing. Check out the music video; it's dope. But when you're making a song like that, like, do you just, in terms of keeping the same sort of theme, like for all the verses, is there like, do you guys discuss like, this is the song and this is kind of like what the theme of the song is? That way, the verses are somewhat connected.
We do, yeah. I mean, I'll give a very short answer and then I leave it up to you guys. But I think in terms of like the chorus, this was one that I had happened to pen, and you know, just writing it in my own kind of, you know, headspace and in my own, you know, way of just trying to deal with things that were going on within my life. But I think that also we had all shared collectively as well, because we all, just like moved here together. I think once upon writing the chorus, and then I think bringing it to all of us, we did have a general sense that we wanted what we wanted the song to be about. I think definitely the chorus is pretty cut and dry, and like allowing for those verses to kind of, you know, for each person to speak to what they may be feeling in relation to that, in relation to the chorus. But I do feel like, you know, again, it's just super collaborative. It's the same that, you know, when Tyler writes a chorus, or a keo, or if someone's written a verse to a beat without a chorus just yet. I think we all have begun to try and find the ways that we can create very unified songs, because I think we've been on that spectrum as well of like just throwing verses on a beat, and those verses may not coincide with each other, though the song sounds great, especially like when performed. If you're to hear it, I think we've grown. I think we've just matured in wanting to have a unified sound, and that comes with our instrumentation as well as with then our verses too. So I think What's Missing is a great example of that. I think our next single will be another good example of that, and so on and so forth. So just trying to keep up with that momentum. But so that was a very short. Sorry, I know.
Covered it all. It's this is a lot of it depends on who presents the idea, and a lot of it is definitely hook centered, and that you draw your thread of what that is through the song. Nothing crazy.
I have a question. Do you guys record at home, or do you like go to a studio to record?
We get studio time.
Okay.
We're in the house like y'all.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying in general, like what do you prefer, like recording at home or like renting out a studio?
We've been in some great studio settings, and that's part of what I think the hold off on a full album is too, is to like be able to have the funds to spend a significant amount of time in the studio and record everything in that place, because you do get a different product. But right now, we're just working out the bedrooms and getting some good mixes and masters and taking it from there.
Dope.
Word. I have a question for you, Elliot. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure what everybody's role is. So, but it seems like you're also sort of like the manager, right, of the group as well. It seems like you do a lot of the managing.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about like that aspect of it and trying to get like the Space Cadets out there known to the world and finding the gigs and doing that thing? Like, what does that look like?
For sure, man. I mean, I think management is something that I always kind of was interested in, but even when I was in older bands with Mike or whatever, I kind of would take that role in terms of just, email and booking, all that type of stuff. The thing that's been so amazing for me about this group and so inspiring for me, not only am I a part of it, but I don't really have to work super, super hard to get people to like it once they do check it out. You know what I mean? And that just speaks to the strength and uniqueness of the material. And a lot of type of bands I've been in, you send this stuff off and it's like, oh, can you please cover this? Will you please check this out? And sure, you got to definitely hook people into that first listen. But from there, I think it's really been able to speak for itself, and we've been able to get some really great cosigns up here, whether it's So Far Sounds or whatever, doing monthly gigs, things like that. That it's like it's bigger than me. It's bigger than anything I've done at that point. It's the strength of the group. So at that point, I'm really just pencil pusher, writing emails and everything like that. But I'm also I'm waiting. I work with a management company on the side, and just making connections. Like this whole industry, it's all about friends. So that's all the stuff we have like sitting in our back pocket. And when we have something huge, then we kind of pull some favors, and all that stuff will come in the future. But yeah, man, up to this point, I've been really blessed that the material has really spoken for itself, and I haven't had to do any begging.
I actually have a follow-up question. Do you have any advice for like people that like want to get into management, like where to start?
Definitely, man. I mean, I think the biggest thing is like having trust between the artist and who you're working with. Obviously, these are my best friends, so like the trust is I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, all that type of stuff. One thing I do see some younger managers and peers doing is trying to rush into something with a group that they just met a couple months ago. And while they might really believe in their material, you really do have to get the personal connection. You know what I mean? And some of our other artists that we've worked with in my company, we'll work for them almost for a year, like pro bono, do some favors, show them that you really care about their music and who they are. And then they'll have loyalty to you, because when someone starts popping off too, they'll have 100 birds chirping in their ear, yo, come sign with us, come sign with us. And the only thing that's going to prevent them from leaving is if they have trust in you. So definitely just, yeah, man, be a real person, show up without the payoff first.
Damn, good advice, man. Appreciate that. I'll keep this to the last questions unless you have any more, Critta. And this is more for, because I think you guys work so beautifully together, being that you guys are so many people. And I feel like it could be easy to have that like too many cooks in the room kind of thing. But you guys do a good job of working, with each other and just, being very communal and collaborative. Can you guys talk about like any advice you have for people who are in, a group or looking to be in a group, and what is important aside, trust I think is a big thing, but what else kind of goes into that aspect of being in a group?
Trying to put, I think, the ego aside and be like, what's the best for what we're trying to make. And I think that's something that, we really are trying to cultivate and have done well, is not so much of like this is my part and I just want that in there to show like I'm here. It's like kind of almost like obsessively like, okay, what is the best thing that can be done? Who's the best, person to do that? And I think everyone's really open to just, doing what they can to make something good instead of, just being like, okay, well, I want my thing in there.
Yeah. Serve the song. That's it. Serve the song. Serve the art.
Yeah, a lot of, I guess in like a, I don't know, the sense of a metaphor in that it's not one leader per se, I think we all possess kind of the strength in being able to step to the front and also being able to step to the back, and it's that dance, that kind of tandem amongst all of us that makes everything move smoothly.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Honestly, it's that, and that goes with ego,
And at the end of the day, it's bigger than us. Like, we all have a goal in mind, and we all share the same goal. So, you can't be going back and forth and having, issues with each other, because there's a bigger goal in mind, and we all know that. And so, with that, it's just, we continue to grow day by day and month by month. And this is our first time all working together too. So this is a huge opportunity for us to grow and develop in that aspect and grow as friends more so than just a group, you know what I'm saying? So it's just bigger than us, and we're pushing towards that goal.
Friendship is key, and without, just friendship. I think we've all been able to spend a lot of quality time with each other throughout all of our years of knowing each other, whether that was in microcosms of, myself and Keo and Rico in the DMV, or myself and Tyler and E in Boston, or Mike, Jeremy, and E in Connecticut. We all have had the opportunities to really, I think, get to know each other. And I think along with that then comes with, the music side to it. But just, friendship and trust and, holding each other accountable with, integrity, honesty, and all that jazz.
Yeah, so making it not business all the time. You know what I mean? You still have to keep that at the forefront, because like Keo said, we are trying to pursue a career. We are trying to create a sustainable career for 7 people. That's a tall order. But if you make it work, if you make your passion work too much, it will kill it. So definitely just have fun with it too, man.
Central Park.
Right, man. Awesome. Well, Critter, you got any last questions or?
Well, I'll give the floor to the guys. Is there anything you guys want to plug?
GLGB forever.
GLGB, for life.
Go check out What's Missing.
What's Missing out here. Steady Eddie, Edward, and Critter, and Critter in the crew. So love to y'all. Thank you for making that happen for us, man. We appreciate that more than y'all know, for sure.
Nah, man, we're always happy to be a part of what you guys do. I think obviously you guys are great people, great human beings, but also great musicians. So it's always great to, just share some time with you and shoot a video. So whenever you guys need me, let me know, man. I'm always happy to do it.
That's my
well, thank you guys so much for spending an hour with us and just getting to know you guys more, but also hopefully getting other people to know you guys more, because I feel like the whole world should know who you guys are.
Thank you very much. Very sweet.
Yeah, man. No problem. But yeah, man, that's it. That's all we got. If you appreciate this episode, if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely check out Space Cadets. Definitely check them out. I think on Insta, if you want to look them up, the T is a 7. So
yeah.
So definitely add.
Backwards.
The 7. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much.
All right,
Thanks.
Thanks.